Welcome to Pro-Am Sim Racing, Race 3, Mount Panorama. So starting at the front, we got Southie and Toyhead, Matt Gowd and Ross Dalton, Mark and U-Tight, Samada, Kraken. Then we're getting closer to the back now with our standing leaders. So in the AM field, so we got Tonka and Nebnodder, Randall and Sprout, Wheels and Lulaps, Bobble and Scurry, R51, Lofty Langshanks, UNR Flash, Pro-Am Matt, Sparky, Speedy, and XY101 right at the back there.
Oh, right from the pros, there's a bit off with some smoke here. Everyone's burning the tyres up there, but we're all moving.
Yeah, it looked like a car got held again. We've seen this a lot on the servers. It's one of the MX-5s. I think, was that Izzy's dad that got held at the back there?
Yeah, as we go down in the first corner there, GForce is up the inside of M Sport.
Oh, we've got another car that's held on the line there. So I think, was that Scurry held at the line, I think? Straight back to the pros. GForce, he started at the back. He's already carving up the field into 10th.
4 places now there.
That's it. Feels like a bit of a recurring story with this one. We're definitely going to see a lot of him this race. And then, of course, Izzy's dad's just been eaten up there at the very start.
Yeah, he's just been pushed out wide there. If he was held in, that's why he's going to get past. R51 now coming up on Lulaps. So we head down the long straight. We get to going up the hill with the pros here.
Straight back
mountain.
into the pros. And GForce again. So it's gone straight round Kiwi there.
We're almost 3 wide coming around that corner there.
It's interesting to see him actually. Yeah, he's doing quite well getting through the pack considering that Sylvia that he's got. It's got quite narrow tyres. As we've talked about a few times on here, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but when you see him going quickly around the corners, you think, how is he managing to manage that car the way he is? Managing to manage that car? But getting around the corners as quickly as he is with such narrow tyres. Because it's all power and no downforce on that car as well.
It's not the widest of tracks either, is it?
Yeah. So really impressive drive early on.
It's moving forward now. What if we made 6 places in 1 lap? That's a flyer.
He is. His next car's Kraken. Doesn't look like M Sport's making it easy for him now, actually. So he's managed to just get past now. We're back with the AMs again. So we got Sparky.
They're all close here.
Yeah, we know that the S2000 is going to be tasty anyway, isn't it? All the way through the field here.
Yeah, straight fast up this mountain here, straight up the inside there.
Yeah, he's held his line quite well. It did look like Lulaps was just going to get round him on the inside, and he's just closed that door, hasn't he? Now we're on board with Samada. So he's holding 3rd place really nicely. He's got Matt Gowd right behind him there. Spoke too soon. Matt Gowd's made short work of him straight up the inside.
It's coming back. It's going to be a close fight. This one down into the last corner.
Yeah, it was the commentator's curse, wasn't it, for Samada there, unfortunately?
Yeah, of course. Drag race along the finish straight.
This is going to be, it's going to be a good battle, this one. They look fairly even. So Matt Gowd's better into the braking zone. Seems to have slightly better cornering. And of course, Samada's in the Sylvia. We talked about this car over and over this season. It's the top speed, isn't it?
Is it? Look at this.
Just seems to out-drag everyone.
They weren't doing there. We cut away to us from there.
An XY. It's another Sylvia, isn't it? So it's going to be another recurring thing. I've got to make sure I don't sound like a broken record with this one all season. And we are going to look at other people, we promise. But these Sylvias are just absolutely eating the other drivers up on the track. So when we're looking at those overtakes, we're going to see them so much, aren't we?
Here we are.
So with XY, the sorts of performances he's put in so far with race 1 and 2, there is no way whatsoever he's staying in the AMS, is there?
I doubt it. He needs to have some bad races for this.
Pro driver waiting in the wings, and given how well he's doing in the championship so far as well, he's a real contender to win this now. He's already so far ahead on points.
That's all you need, a big advantage at the beginning of the season. We've got a few races left to go yet.
And he's got it. And that's
somebody's off.
Oh goodness, what have we got here? So, camera's just come away from that there. Was that Sprout that went into the wall, was it?
I think it was.
We'll have a look when we go back to the AMS in a moment. Sack the director. Okay. So, GForce ended up all the way back down in 11th, so there's been some contact there. We haven't quite seen what's happened, but given all the track in front of him, you can see he's been swallowed back up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's lost a few places now, unless he's... He hasn't pitted this early, has he? It's too early for pitting.
No, not by lap 2. No, there's definitely been some sort of issue, but we've missed it. But it has given M Sport and Kraken just a little bit of breathing room. Spoke far too soon, so he's been swallowed up as well.
Breathing there, straight round the outside. And even got to the corner yet.
That's it. And M Sport is the next prey for him there. Looking at the front of the field there, so Toyhead's got a healthy lead. And Ross Dalton. Samada's managed to keep that third place from Matt Gale as well, looking at the standings as we've got not the standings, sorry, the timing screen.
We'll begin lap 3 now.
It's good seeing the pack so tight.
Yeah, everyone's rather close
There's
together.
There's no one running away, is there?
It's going off here, Neb Nodder's going off wide there. Everyone's having accidents tonight.
And it's just because it's such a tight track.
It is very...
Up and down the mountain as we're going up and down the Mount Panorama track.
Very twisty.
That change, yeah. We're seeing the change in the weight on that car as well. So as they're going up and down the hills and around the corners, it's going to get a lot of drivers quite squiffy, I think, going around the corners, especially into the braking zones and things, and getting caught out.
That's
definitely going to affect the balance of the cars.
Confirm there it was Sprout. He's just gone in the pits now.
So he's well behind now.
Yeah, he's picked up some bad damage there.
32.5 seconds. Yeah, 32.3 seconds behind Pro-Am Matt. Sat in 14th at the moment.
Right, Matt's
so we're going to see what this race holds for Sprout now. So it looks like the top 4 now are starting to build a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. And it's great seeing now we're starting to break the pack up by lap 3. So they were all very, very close all the way through the previous lap. Which of course makes great racing. But what we really want to see is this front battle now between our top 4 drivers.
Yeah, we get the short display of skill now.
Tonka's going to be hard to catch. So XY is going to do a great job of trying to get to him though. So let's see how that 6.5 second lead starts to just narrow down. 6.4 already. So let's see how that one goes. And then back in the pros, Samada's managed to gap Matt Gale.
He's chasing Ross Dalton now, coming up the mountain now. By the time he gets to the bottom of the mountain onto the straight, he'll be eaten.
And Ross isn't going to make it easy for him. And that GT86 that Ross Dalton's got, incredible car. But let's be real, it's against Nissan Silvia. It's a great car, but he's going to get swallowed up in a moment. But let's see what this battle has in store for us. It does seem like Samada's lines are just that little bit tidier. Ross Dalton's stepping out on every corner at the moment.
Yeah, very defensive moves. Keeping him off.
It's a bit tighter for him there, though. Yeah, that was a bit of a tidier couple of corners for him than we've seen.
We need a good exit onto this straight.
At the beginning of that lap.
There's no defensive into that corner, is there? You have to be going full speed out of there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I still got him.
That GT86 seems to be the real match for him on the straights, but he's not. So he's overtaken him there. So Samada's going to run away a bit now, I think.
Yeah, he didn't quite catch him as quick as he did all the others.
Yeah, I think GT86 was a wise choice, I would say. Definitely the envy of some of the other drivers that picked things like the Evo or the Subaru Impreza that are just so much harder to drive. Obviously, they're four-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive conversions, and that always upsets the balance of the car. It's hard to actually create a reasonable tune for that. Whereas, of course, those cars that were already rear-wheel drive coupes, etc., they don't have that problem. So your MX-5s, your Silvias, Supras, etc., they don't have any of those issues.
Now, do you remember 2 laps ago, GForce was near the back? He's
How
5th.
far has he come up, Matt?
He's 5th now. He is 5th.
By lap 4, so
In 2 laps.
it's not a surprise. Yeah, it's not a surprise. But it is great to see other cars on the replay rather than just GeForce, because that's the thing while he's carving up the field. It's easy to stay on him. But of course, it's easy to forget then that we've got so many other brilliant drivers that are in the field as well.
Absolutely. These
doing
are a
pretty
good
well
pair
here.
today. This is a good pairing of drivers.
And that's it. Another S2000. So 2 S2000s fighting it out here. Sparky and R51. Both pretty even as drivers, I would say, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So Sparky, of course, having spent some time in the pros in previous seasons in his Porsche 911. R51 still to get to that stage, but I think it's coming for him. I think he is going to end up in the pros very shortly. The sorts of results he's been having with us. But they're so evenly matched, aren't they? It really is just follow the leader around the straights for them at the moment. So it's going to be who blinks first, who makes that first mistake on the corners or into the braking zone.
Identical car definitely sets the precedent for who is the better driver.
And that's the thing, this is a track that definitely sorts the men for the boys, doesn't it? It's a really tough track. A lot of muscle memory, but certainly for me, this is a track that catches me out. So, and it's purely just going up, going down the mountain, and it's the weight distribution, the weight change, the weight shifting around that car as you're braking, either going up or down that mountain, and how that affects the handling of the car. Certainly hasn't affected it too much with Samada and GeForce. Absolutely throwing it around those corners near the front. But I've got to say, Toyhead is still in the lead. He's flying. And no one seems to be catching him yet. There's still about 2.5 seconds.
It's good work.
So
5 laps.
Yeah. And he's one of our newer drivers. He's got a lot less experience than the others. So this really is great to see.
The gap to Tonka is coming down massively now. We're at 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, now we were asking earlier who was going to blink first. It was R51. He just kissed that barrier. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So that answered our question there. Yeah. So yeah, Sparky's gapping him now. But it was only just down to that one mistake that he's made there. And I think again, it was just that downhill section. It catches you out when you come over the brow of the hill, or the mountain rather. And then of course the weight distribution of that car completely changes the balance. So this is the fight for the lead. Yeah, so XY101 and Tonka. Tonka's had a really, really great lead, yeah. He's had a very comfortable lead for this whole race up until this point. But that was just such a simple overtake, wasn't it? Almost as if he pulled to the side to let him past. I can't believe for a second he did, but that is certainly what it looked like.
After you.
Yeah, I think getting onto lap 5, it's possible that his tyres are starting to go, but he stayed out. So I don't know whether it's just possibly an issue in the braking section, maybe. I don't know. So whether it was just an issue braking.
Did have a drag race.
That's it. Matt Gale's falling down the pack now, so he's in 6th. So it's been eaten up there a little bit. So he's had Gazor and is his dad. Gazor, of course, in the Toyota Supra. That car is utterly mighty.
Another one on softs, maybe.
But Gazor, he's just made a transition, hasn't he, from using the controller to using the wheel. It's massively impacting his drive at the moment. But we hope he sticks with using his wheel, because that, of course, it's just purely for the immersion, isn't it? We do have some really quick controller drivers in the league, but the immersion that you get from that wheel is second to none.
Also, the quicker drivers are controller drivers, to be fair.
They are.
So there's not much to an advantage on the wheel, but it is certainly more fun.
That's the...
No, this is a fight for the lead Toyhead here. Samada's finally caught Toyhead.
That's it. So Samada's just getting past.
There's GForce there. Toyhead is just there going in the first corner.
That's it, yeah. Toyhead's still just a bit ahead. That RX-7, of course, he's actually got the highest PI as well. So Toyhead had a bit of a difficult start to the season, having the highest PI to start with, but having a couple of accidents. As we said, he's a driver that's got some of the least experience currently, just by race 3, but of course that's all changing. And of course he's up with the pros. He's in a very powerful car, so that RX-7 really is a challenging car to drive, but he's maintained that lead beautifully, and hopefully that extra sort of PI, so the performance index, all the parts that you can put on, he's just got a few more, hasn't he? The most out of the field.
And now it's pit lap. So we've got XY's gone in the pit. And this is R51.
So R51, he's come off again. Yeah. So he's had a bit of a problem again. And we should see the pros starting to pit as well now at the halfway stage. So those that are trying to get a soft, if they're trying to get half the way through the race and stay on the soft tyre, I dare say there will be some at the front trying exactly that. But it will mean they've got a bit of a tough lap here. On the 7th lap, those softs are utterly just destroyed. They've reached the cliff for many of them now, so you're going to see him going wide. We saw his dad just touching the barrier there as well. His tyres are utterly gone.
Yeah, especially if you've got like the 4-wheel drive and front-wheel drive.
And this is it, the conversions for sure. Obviously the MX-5 just being a rear-wheel drive car. We're looking at Matt Gale here. So, and he's headed into the pit lane now.
Toyhead pits, GForce pits.
That's it. Samada stays out.
Matt Gale doesn't pit.
Yeah, so Samada stayed out. So all of this race so far he's been doing really well, but it looks like he's been on the medium tyre. It's telling us something about Samada, isn't it? And in previous seasons racing with Samada, he is Mr. Consistent. So let's see how we get on. I think there's an issue with the timing screen there. It says it said 143 seconds was the gap there, which can't be right. So we had a bit of a server issue there for some reason. Not sure what was going on.
Forza displays this when people are still in the pits. It doesn't know what to do. It puts them a whole
yeah.
Ahead.
Yeah, well done turn 10 on that one. Built from the ground up. So we're all really happy with the standard of the multiplayer servers and the lobbies. So let's get that out there. So congratulations on your efforts to improve this after a year of being on Xbox and PC.
Good job.
Sack them all. We're joking. We love Forza. So we're on with Gazor now. So Gazor's in his Supra. Still maintaining sort of the middle of the pack really, but we know it's that transition to the wheel. He should be up at the front. During pre-season testing on Mount Panorama, which is one of the tracks that we did a huge amount of testing on, he actually had one of the fastest times, I think bar 2 drivers. So 8th position isn't his natural position, but I can guarantee it's down to the fact that he's driving with a wheel now.
The XY is chasing down Tonka around after the pit laps. They're all on fresh tyres now. We're coming up to the final stretch. We've got kink around here now. And then we break down into the hard braking zones.
And XY's got him. So it's a beautiful overtake. Second overtake he's had to do with Tonka, of course.
He doesn't look like he's fighting Tonka.
No.
Oh, he's pitting. That's why he's not fighting.
He's pitting, so That's it. It did look like he'd moved over again, but I didn't really believe it first time round, but the second time it did look like he really had. So R51's still got a bit of work to do. So we've seen him come off twice. It may well be that he's come off more often, I don't know. We've certainly seen two. One being a really significant sort of departure from the track over the grass. But this looks like a really tasty overtake. Let's see whether he can make that just before the braking zone. And he has, yeah, it's very clean. Yeah, and he tucks right back in. Oh, he's made that difficult for himself. Yeah, he's gone wide. Way too deep there. I wonder if he was trying to late brake to maintain that position, but it's done the opposite, hasn't it?
Redeemed himself now. Just get a little slide on there, but he's giving it.
So it's
giving a good fight.
It's a great battle.
Making it better
That's
for himself, is he?
Look, this is what makes the races so brilliant when we're seeing people find absolutely tooth and nail, and that's exactly what he's doing there. Is trying to get that advantage and keep it. But Lofty's not just going to give it away. All right, he knows that if he brakes too early, Lofty's going to overtake him in the braking zone, isn't he? So he's trying to be cautious, but that over-cautious late braking that he did there, I think that just ruined that corner. But you know, points for trying, and that's racing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So back with Matt Gale, 4th place. He seems to be getting a little bit closer to Izzy's dad. He's got a bit of a lead there, hasn't he? In fact, it's not Izzy's dad that he's closing up to. He's lapping a driver there.
Yeah, that's who is that?
It's Ross. Is that Ross Dalton? He's getting up to possibly, but yeah, he's. It looks like he's lapping a driver there, but of course, no one's going to make it easy for him, regardless.
It's for his car, is it not? Is 10 seconds.
Oh no, that is Izzy's dad. Yeah, apologies, that is Izzy's dad. He's 0.178 seconds from Izzy's dad. I've confused myself looking at the time intervals.
They're looking diagonally.
So, I've confused myself with that one.
Medium tyre drivers are pitting now. They'll be on soft now for 4 laps.
Yeah, and this is going to really mix the pack up again. So those that we thought that were absolutely flying, they've stayed out longer. All right, so those that have been on the medium for a real long stint, potentially in some cases even the hard. It all depends what their tyre wear rate's going to be like, and how aggressive that setup really is on their tyres.
It's still working out well for Tonka. If he's been on hard tyre, then that's phenomenal.
It is. And the beauty now for R51 is recovered into a podium position. So he's doing really well. He's got Tonka behind him, 2.2 seconds. But that gap is starting to extend now. 2.4, 2.6, 2.9. And that's just within 4 corners. And he's up to 3.1 seconds. So I think he's got the bit between his teeth now. He wants to get up to 2nd place and try and recover some of the time that he lost earlier.
To sparking up. Can he make up 9 seconds?
I don't think so within 4 laps, but let's see. GForce though, back with the pros. He is gapping everyone now. So 4.5 seconds ahead of Samada. Then Izzy's dad in 3rd place. With Matt Gale
He's catching him.
Right up his exhaust pipe. Yeah.
He's really catching him now.
But of course, catching up to someone and overtaking them is completely different. So let's see. Is his dad not going to make it easy for him if he does get the legs on him?
I certainly have to not be in the corner, won't it? Because the Mazda's strength is in the corner and not the straights.
Oh, it really is, yeah. It really is. It's acceleration. But that Evo's got the top speed. So when we get into those straights, of course, is in the slipstream of the car as well. So it's going to be catching on those straights. But yeah, that Evo's got loads more power, much bigger engine, and it is utterly mighty on the straights. But let's just see what it can do with it. Of course, there'll always be a PI difference between the cars as well. And that can play into the hands of the defending car sometimes if they've got that little bit more PI. So our winner tonight, so within the pros, we got GForce and in the AMS XY101. So in the pros, GForce Samada McGale, and the AMS XY101, Sparky and R51. So join us next time for race 4.